Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first episode of Kansas Missing Unsolved Podcast. Tonight, we're going to kind of update you on a few things and cover a few recent flyers and give you some information on those. I think we're going to lead off, I believe, with Angela Green, 51-year-old woman missing out of Prairie Village, Kansas, since June of last year. She wasn't reported missing until back in February. The most recent updates that I've seen are that 2 search warrants have been served by Kansas City Police. They've yet to release what they're looking for or anything along those lines. All we know so far is that they've served a search warrant at the residence where her and her husband lived, as well as another location. If we find out any more on that, we'll either update you on a future podcast, or we will put a post up on the page itself.
You said that she wasn't reported missing for a while. So do you know the story on like when she was last seen versus like when she was declared missing, or?
Well, like I said, she went missing June 19th of 2019. They didn't report her missing until February of this year. During that time, her husband, their daughter's father, contacted the daughter to say that she had passed away from an illness, which the daughter did not believe. And there's never been a record of a death certificate or an obituary or anything like that. So there's a lot of questions revolving around that case, and hopefully now that they're serving search warrants, they can answer some of those questions.
Where do you see most of these questions, from the media or from the public? Who's doing the most of the chatting about these cold cases?
I've been seeing it on news media like KSHB, Kansas City Star on their website, on just media outlets like that. Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. If anybody has the information.
Yeah, if anybody has any information on that, you can call the Prairie Village Police Department. And if you could scroll up so I could see that number, I'll read it off there. The phone number is 913-642-6868, or you can call Crime Stoppers Tips Hotline at 816-474-8477, or you can call KBI at, I'm trying to remember that number, 913. What is that number? Let me look here.
I'll find it in a second and I'll post it because we're going to want that.
Yeah,
first show, everybody. So there's going to be a few hiccups here and there, but give us a break. Yeah, so I'll look that up. Go ahead. What's that number?
785-296-4017.
Okay, 785.
296-4017.
Okay. Yeah, so if anybody has any information, obviously,
yes,
contact the KBI. We'll leave that down there for a minute.
There we go.
On this case, we can show a picture one more time.
Sure.
Angela Green, missing from Prairie Village, Kansas. Height 5'9", missing since June 19th, 2019. 116 pounds. Age at disappearance 51. Hair brown. Age now 52, and eyes brown. So if anybody has any information,
yes, please don't hesitate to call. Even if you think it's something that might be minute or small, call it in anyway. It may turn out to be something that might help point investigators in the right direction.
I think a lot of people take that for granted. They don't realize that, because I know for a fact that I talk to a lot of people that, have talked to police before about, crimes or missing persons and stuff. And it's crazy how they don't understand how just literally one tiny detail can open a case completely wide. I mean, so if you're out there and you're sitting on information that could potentially solve a crime or get somebody home, just know that your participation in just saying what you know is paramount in possibly bringing somebody home safe and all of that. So, so where did you want to go now? That was just we still want to bring her up. She's more of a cold case, you would say. That's been on for a little while.
Yeah, since last year at least. There's going to be one we're going to be covering a little bit later that's, I believe, almost 3 years old, actually.
3 years old. Okay.
Yeah. We can, let's see. Let's move on to the joint flyers that I have side by side, Lolita Lewis. And,
gotcha.
yeah.
Cue it up.
Yeah, because I do want to clear up some. When they were located, they like on the case of Lolita Lewis, she was found on March 6th, or I believe it was March 5th, actually. And she went missing again on March 6th, the very next day. So it caused some confusion as to whether she was located or whether she was still missing. And I had to field a lot of comments on that to let people know, hey, this is a new situation. Yes, she was found. She indeed did go missing again. Same with Emma Reidelberger. She was located on March 8th and again went missing on March 9th. So they are both still active missing cases on those. And with Emma's, if you have any information on hers, you can call the Wichita Police Department at 316-296-9456 or 316-660-9478 or 316-268-4111. Or you can call the KBI there, 785-296-4017. I think I might have said the first number incorrectly. The 785, or not 785, 316-660-9456. I want to make sure I want to clear that one up.
And these girls are very young, 16 years old. It's a very young age to be out on the who knows where without,
Right.
It's
On
scary.
Lolita's, you can call on hers. You can call the Franklin County Kansas Emergency Communications Center at 785-242-1700 or again KBI 785-296-4017.
So any information on these two girls, and I would you should probably tell them, because I asked you last night, I was like, do these girls know each other? And you're saying these are two separate cases, 100%.
Two separate. Yeah, they are two separate. One's out of Ottawa, Kansas. One's out of Wichita, which Wichita, of course, down in the southern part of the state. Ottawa's over in the eastern part of the state, closer to Missouri. Yeah, anything to help get these gals located again. I remember being their age and thinking I was untouchable and I couldn't be hurt and things like that. And I'm sure a lot of these missing teens think the same way. They probably feel like that they know all the answers and can handle themselves. But there's going to be times and situations where I'm sure, hopefully they don't, but they may run into that they may not know how to handle.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a 37-year-old man, and I don't want to go out on the world by myself. It's scary out there,
Right.
You never know who you're going to run into, and it's very scary. So if anybody has any information on these two cases, and somebody in the comments said, did they go missing together or what happened? No, they're from two separate cities, two separate communities.
Just happened to be a similar situation in that they were found and then the next day went missing again. And I just wanted to get them up together so I could clarify them both that even though they were found one day, they went missing again the next day. So they are both new cases, and I'm waiting to see if there's any updates on either one. I haven't heard of any yet, but I'm going to do some checking later on too. So.
Yeah. How do you ever get discouraged whenever you're doing missing persons this website that you do here, and you find somebody and you bring them home, and then the next day you find out they run again? I mean, what is that? Do you even attempt to get back into it, or you're like, okay, starting over, we got to do it again?
I don't know if it's necessarily frustration. It's more along the lines of, I just, again, really, I mean, come on, stay put. I know you may have stuff going on, but, it's time to start standing up and facing it and start dealing with it instead of trying to continually run from it. Because at some point you're going to have to just plant your feet and face it. I mean, we all have to. I did. I had to.
Yeah. Raina says your flyer helped me find my daughter a year ago. I'm grateful.
You're welcome, Raina. I really appreciate that.
Courtney says she's from Ottawa originally, and this is crazy. James Green says he's interested in an unsolved homicide in Topeka from last year. We're all ears about stuff like that. You can send us a message or something like that. And for future episodes, we're always looking for content, as far as things that we want to talk about, things that need to be addressed and re-put into the spotlight.
Yeah, and it may be I might have something up on that on the sister page, Kansas Missing and the Unsolved Homicides page. I'd have to find out which case he's referring to specifically, but it may be something I might have up.
Yeah, James, send us a message and we'll look into that for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Who do you want to look at next?
Let's look at Kenny Reitcheck. That's a gentleman that's missing from here in Salina, Kansas. Since November 4th of last year, since he's went missing, his bank accounts have not been touched. His money hasn't been touched. The information that I've been getting on that was he was evicted from his apartment and was taken out to the rescue mission here in town. And beyond that, I haven't heard of any of his movements or activity beyond that time. It was thought that maybe he was trying to get to family up in the Colby area, possibly at some point, but that's not known for sure. Like so I'm kind of familiar with him because when I was growing up, like so when I was a teenager, I used to watch him play pinball at the corner gas stations, and I always thought he was pretty good. And I got a kick out of watching him and talking to him. He's always been a really nice guy. He also has been known to go by the name Kenny Brown. Matter of fact,
Okay.
there's a place here in town where he would take his scrap metal and sell it. And I know of a lady that's been distributing his flyers around town for me. And she went in and asked about putting up a flyer, and she called him by his given name, Reitcheck. And they said, "Oh, you mean Kenny Brown?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, him." So yeah, he's known by Kenny Brown quite well.
Missing since November.
Yeah, since November 4th, and he wasn't reported missing until I believe it was early December, so about a month later.
Why does it take so long in some of these adults?
That was a question that I wanted to know myself. I don't know the answer to that one. I mean, I guess I'm kind of confused because there's a Kansas statute for missing persons that states that any law enforcement agency in Kansas, when notified of a missing person, must, without delay, take and file a report and have it entered into NCIC within 2 hours of taking that report. And I still, from time to time, will hear from people that have a missing family member that, well, they told me because they're an adult that they can't do anything. They can be voluntarily missing if they want to, and which there is truth to that. They can, yes, but with that statute in place, they should still be getting that report filed and getting it checked out. And if they find out that, hey, that's the case, they just wanted to drop off the grid for a while, then that's their prerogative. But I would really like to see more emphasis put on some of these cases. It just really bothers me.
Kenneth Kenny Reitcheck.
Yeah. And there again, if you would add any information on his case or his disappearance, you can call the Salina Police Department at 785-826-7210 or the KBI number 785-296-4017. Again, no matter how small you think that information or tip may be, don't hesitate to call it in because it could be something that could, get investigators going in a direction they may not have, previously gone before.
In the chat, they're wanting you to redo the information on this flyer. Somebody else from Ottawa's here, and they heard which one of the girls is from Ottawa?
On Lolita's? That's Lolita Ruth Lewis, this Ottawa.
We'll put her on the big screen. Yeah, Lolita Ruth
Lewis.
She wanted to know what just go ahead and repeat the information on Lolita again because
repeat hers again.
Yeah.
Okay, Lolita's she's 16 years old. She's been missing since March 6th of this year. She's 5'2", 115 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. I do know the last time that she went missing prior to this, she had been in the Lawrence area and also the Kansas City metro area on the Missouri side of it. So, I mean, I don't know if that's where she may be again or not, but that was the information I had gotten the last time, was that she was, like I said, in Lawrence and also the Kansas City metro area.
Awesome.
So yeah, if we could get the phone numbers up there again for hers, I'll repeat those as well.
Oh yeah, let me put those up.
Franklin County, Kansas Emergency Communications Center is 785-242-100 or KBI 785-296-4017.
Yes, sir. Go back to the chat a little bit. James said he's interested in the unsolved homicide speaker from last year. He said it was R.J. McKenzie, spelling not sure, shot on his front porch near 12th and Gage.
I would have to research to see if I have that or if that's something I need to add to the page. I will have to look and see. So James, keep your eyes open because I'll look into that and see if I can either have it made and need to reshare it or if I have to make it and get it posted. But keep watch. I'll make sure I get that on there. In fact, I'll make myself a note right now.
Courtney says, I'd like to add to the page as well. Is there any way you can either message me, then name? The best way to do it is you can either message us on here on the Kansas Missing and Unsolved page. And Ricky's really good at taking care of those messages whenever he can. He's a busy man, but generally, and like I said, we are looking for things to talk about, and we are, interested in talking about. We
Yeah.
know there's a ton of unsolved, there's a ton of missing people, and there's a ton of
Yeah.
unsolved cases that people need to perhaps do about. Deborah says perhaps you could do a podcast on the very old unsolved homicide of Sally Hutton in Lola, Kansas.
It's Iola. Yeah.
Iola.
Yeah. Iola, Kansas.
Have you heard of that case?
That name sounds familiar. That's another one I will have to see if I have. Like I said, I do so many, I can't remember them all, but I will definitely look. Because if I don't have them, I will definitely get them up. Thank you for bringing those to my attention, guys. I appreciate that.
Oh, here we go. Melody Joyce says Lola is alive, just missing. She contacted my daughter last night.
Oh, okay. Okay, I would definitely let the police department know about that.
Yeah, you need to definitely pass that information on.
Yes, I would definitely do that. Yeah, I was just, talking about me being very busy. I I was almost late getting here to get to the show started because I was taking my daughters back to my ex-wife's house so I could get back here and get going because I was spending time with my daughters tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, we have to force this into our schedule, but this is we love doing it. We both have wanted to do this for a long time, and we just didn't know each other until a week ago. So
yeah, until Derek contacted me, and I'm really grateful he contacted me.
Yeah, man, I think we're gonna do a lot of good here. But yeah, as far as cold cases go, we'd love to talk about them. We even have, and that's up to Ricky for future episodes. We even have an option for people to join and talk to us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an option. So if people want to call in and talk about a case, that's fine. Obviously, let's keep it civil and library friendly, so everybody can enjoy the program.
Definitely. And then we got one more to cover: Dennis Lushbough Jr. from Iola, Kansas, as well.
So Iola's coming up a lot.
Yeah. And he's been missing since, this is one I was referring to. It's about 3 years, almost coming up on 3 years old. Been missing since August 13th, 2017. He was 44 when he went missing. He would now be 47. He is 5'6" to 5'8" inches tall and weighs between 180 to 200 pounds. His hair is dark brown, eyes blue. And if you could scroll for me a little bit so I can see some of the details here. Was camping with his girlfriend. They had a disagreement. He left in his van. The van was found almost 2 weeks later, abandoned approximately 5 miles from where they were camping in a field on Arizona Road close to Neosho County and Allen County line on the Allen County side. And again, he was 44. He'd now be 47. He was between 5'6" to 5'8" inches tall, weighs between 180 to 200 pounds, has dark brown hair and blue eyes, has surgical scars on both shoulders and a tattoo on his right shoulder blade. He had a plate surgically implanted in his back. So if you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, you can call the Allen County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-365-1400 or KBI at 785-296.
Gotcha. 1 second. I gotcha.
There we go. 4017. Hopefully, hopefully the future shows will be a lot smoother in transitions and things. Like I said, we're still getting the kinks and the bugs worked out. So
yeah,
thank you guys ahead of time for your patience and understanding in this while we're getting things worked out. We appreciate it.
So if anybody has any information on any of our people tonight, we're trying to locate them. Law enforcement is trying to locate them. We already had one person say one of the people we showcased tonight contacted one of their family members. So that's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I know in Dennis's case, I visited with a lady that is part of a search team, and they've actually conducted searches in looking for Dennis. They haven't found anything, but they have been doing some organized searches for him. So hopefully, something will turn up eventually. Because somebody has to know something. I'm a firm believer in these cases that have gone on for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 years that somebody has to know something. They may be too afraid to talk or maybe too intimidated by somebody to talk. But, I would hope that enough time has passed where if they know something or they saw something, they would say something to help get these people found and returned to their loved ones so they can have some closure in some of these cases.
Yeah. So what's the page been like in the last week since we've talked? Have you had some people found? Some obviously probably made more flyers for new
Oh
missing
yeah.
people, but have you had any good stories come out of the last week?
Um, I have been told on a couple of occasions on some of the ones that were located this last week that the flyers helped tremendously in getting them located, whether it be, I think mainly people just see them and they'll call, the numbers on the flyers and hey, this is, I've seen this person at this place or whatever and things like that. But yeah, I've been getting some feedback that the flyers are helping. Actually, I've gotten that a lot over the last several years. So that's really good to hear that the flyers are making a difference. And I have noticed an upswing in page likes over the last week too. Getting closer and closer to 60,000 page likes every day.
That's awesome, man. This page has
Yeah.
a ton of people on it, all doing good work.
Yeah, let's see.
We're in the final wind down of the show, probably on another 5 or 10 minutes. So if
Yeah.
anybody has any questions or comments or topics you want us to talk about for a little bit, go ahead and post them now, and we'll dig into them as much as we can.
Yeah. Yep. This
Kimmy
is
says
something
when she sees them, she shares them.
Thank you, Kimmy. I appreciate that. I'm really proud of what this page has become because when I started it, I was like, I'll be lucky if this page gets like 300 or 400 page likes. And here we are 8 years later and we're 400 likes away from hitting 60,000. So, I mean, it's just been incredible. I'm glad to hear that, Laura. I'm glad it did. That's great.
Dennis Lushbough Jr.
Yeah, Dennis Lushbough Jr. Yeah. When I initially did that flyer, I just had the picture that was of him that was in the center. I recently got a hold of the other two and added them and reposted it and added a little bit more information to it. So hopefully that helps too. There's Angela Green. That's an interesting case. Hopefully they can get some answers there.
I don't think we're opposed to doing.
No, I do Missouri all the time. I've done 2 Missouri ones today, as a matter of fact, already.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's as far as there's going to be a lot of times where we cover national cases in like the news section of this show, just because there's a lot of interesting things happening in the missing persons world, and we're just we're both from Kansas, so we have a little bit of a.
Matter of fact, I'm going to tilt my camera down a little bit.
Let me put you on the big screen.
Yeah, the shirt that I'm wearing, I did this flyer for Unique Harris that's missing out of Washington, D.C. I need to update it and get it reshared, but did that particular flyer and sent it to her mom, and her mom's been using it. And I ordered one of the Unique T-shirts from the website, and her mom did this one especially for me with the flyer on the front. It's the only one that's done with the flyer on the front of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I've done flyers for missing people out of, like I said, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, Oregon, all Texas, Oklahoma,
the Morton
Colorado.
County murders. There'll be more from that, from the Justice for Suzanne Johnson page. You can keep an eye on that. There'll be some more of that. Jacques says, why are so many kids going missing?
That is a good question. I think it's a combination of a lot of things. I think the ones that are, this is my own personal theory, the ones that are in foster care, I think a lot of those kids, a number of them, come from backgrounds to where they don't have a lot of structure and a lot of rules. And then once they go into foster care, it's kind of a culture shock where they have all this structure and rules and curfews and this and that, and they're not used to that. And that makes them want to run. I think in some instances they want to go back to their families, or it could be a situation where they feel like they're better off on the streets than in foster care. Or I think if it's kids that aren't in foster care, it could be a situation where mom and dad, matter of fact, I know of one where I did a flyer for a juvenile that went missing that they simply ran off because mom took the cell phone. That's all it was. They had a disagreement. Mom took the phone. They took off. So I mean, it's just a number of things, and a lot of people have to remember too. And I've been giving this a lot of thought too, and that everybody automatically labels foster kids as bad kids, but some of these kids are not ending up in foster care because of something they did. And some of these kids are there because of the actions of mom or dad.
Yeah.
And I know that firsthand because my two daughters that I have are adopted from foster care. We adopted them from foster care when they were little, but they were in foster care not by anything they did. It was because of the birth mom and the birth dad. So, you have to keep that in mind too. Not all these kids are bad kids. Some of them are struggling because of personal issues at home, personal issues in their lives. I mean, it could be bullying issues. They could be they could be into drugs or alcohol and things like that. And of course, they can't get that in foster care, obviously. So, I mean, there's just a lot of different factors, I think, that play into why they run. I don't think there's one definite answer. I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've had a lot of time to think about it, doing as many as I've done and things like that. And I just think there's just a lot of different factors.
Juliana says you get posters out much faster than NCMEC. It really helps letting people know how to be on the lookout for these kids. Thank you.
Thank you for that, and you're welcome. Yeah, I do get them out faster than NCMEC does. I think I'm not sure how many people they actually have actively making flyers, but I'm sure since they're doing all 50 states, they get thousands. So I'm sure they get them out as fast as they can. But yeah, I can get them out a lot quicker. That's why some of the law enforcement agencies that have come to me and asked me to do flyers have done that because they know I can get them out a whole lot quicker.
Kenneth Leslie says, my son was killed 2 years ago yesterday. How can I get help with this? Again, just send a message to Kansas Missing and Unsolved.
Yeah, message me here at the page, and I will gladly get you some information out there. Basically what I would need, I'll just give you a real quick one here. If you can get me pictures of him and any kind of links or information on his case that you can, that I can dig into and look at, I can get something made and posted.
I forgot I'm not supposed to be vaping on the show. Somebody wrote us and said they didn't like the vaping, so I said I wasn't going to do it. I forgot though.
That's all right. If it's like second nature to you, you can't help it.
With
it's like I have this big problem when I get to talking about something I'm passionate about. I get a little emotional. My nose starts running like a water faucet.
There we go. Well, I was hoping that you were just emotional. Not to change the subject of the show because we won't. But if you watch the news, you got the sniffles. I'm probably going to get away from you, Ricky. I was starting to worry if I needed to take a few weeks off of the show. You getting the sniffles over there?
No, it's just when I ever get passionate about something, it gets my emotions going, and then my nose gets going.
Well, that's kind of everything we have. Let's go through the flyers one more time just to, because that's obviously more important than our faces being shown. We have Kenneth, Kenny, Reitcheck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good old Kenny.
Missing from Salina, 5'9", 175 pounds, gray hair, 69 years old. Missing since November 4th, 2019. So if you know anything about that case, contact. And we'll go ahead and I'll put the numbers up again too.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you just contact the Kansas Police Department, 785-826-7210. And then I'll put the KBI's number back on the screen too, just for the remainder of the show, just so we have that up there.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and watching tonight too. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that's liking and sharing and telling people about us and letting us know we're here and what we can do. And
yeah, it's been really cool.
It's greatly appreciated.
If anybody's seen Angela Green, contact the KBI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, you never know what your little tiny bit of information, it could be as simple as, well, I saw him over here at a gas station. Well, that could be a big help. You never know, so.
Yeah, it could be the smallest little tidbit. Do you think, well, is it important? Is it not? I would just err on the side of caution, call it in, no matter how small you think it might be.
Just assume that your information is always very important.
Yeah.
We got Dennis up here. And then...
Those must be your kids.
Those are my boys. I got to make sure I have I wanted to put the double flyer up one more time.
Right.
Yeah, those are my boys. They're not missing. They're just ornery.
Yeah.
And then these two. So
Oh,
yeah, if
yeah.
anybody has any
I know
information,
about Henri, let me tell you. My 2 teen girls just love him to death, but boy.
Kenneth
Yeah.
Gillespie wants to know how I can obtain a copy of the flyer.
I can either message it to you, or if it would be easier, I can email it to you. Whichever would be easier for you. I do
Awesome.
both.
Well, I think we've that's a pretty good first episode.
I think so. We had couple little hiccups here and there, but
Yeah, that's always going to happen in live streaming. And by the way, if
yeah.
anybody's interested, this will eventually. We'll probably wait till we get a couple episodes under our belt, but this will be an actual audio podcast that you can find on any podcast platform.
Cool.
iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, everywhere. This podcast will be there in a couple weeks, so keep an eye out for that.
And I'll get it uploaded to our YouTube and get our YouTube channel link on here too, because I want to get them up on there too.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, man. Well, we'll see y'all next week.
All right. You guys have a good night, and God bless, and take care and stay safe.